Welcome to Babbling Buffoons, all babbling, all buffoonery. I'm Alex.
I'm Jack, and today we're going over digital ID, this seamless transfer of all of our digital assets going into it, and amongst other couple things that we're going to do and talk about basically how it's going to be the surveillance of it, the data vulnerability of it, the loss of your independence because government's going to be able to control everything, and the inclusion of equality.
Well, I think since a lot of our stuff nowadays is already kind of digital, I think like that aspect of it, of like our banking stuff, or driver's license ID and stuff, that'll be. I think that part will be pretty seamless to like transfer over because a lot of it is digital nowadays. Because like even when you get your license taken, they take your picture that stays on a database. You know.
Oh yeah, because police officers can pull it straight up on the time of pulling you over. But no, the main thing is how secure is it going to be? Um, I am sure right now, somewhere in this world where we have some of the greatest hackers are just eating away at this and like, yes, please make this a reality. Because I'm telling you right now, if we have this implemented and we go forward with it, no matter how secure you're telling me it's going to be, somebody's going to be able to hack it. And here's the issue. If it is hacked and we lose our stuff, when are we getting it back?
And then the question that you also got to follow up is, can you even get it back?
Yeah.
Like if you get hacked and they take everything, for example, say they take all of my stuff, how do I go to the police and report that if everything's on a digital ID thing and say they go in, they hack my stuff, they take it, and they make it to where if the police go to search it, nothing pops up. So how do I now, without no paper or anything, prove who I am if I have no other form of doing so, if it's all on?
Well, they're talking about when you have the digital ID, they're talking about blood and how it's going to be matched with your ID inside you. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of trial and error. I am grateful the United States is not bringing it out and other countries are doing it because they're going to be able to hopefully work the bugs out before they implement it here. But
That's what I honestly think that the U.S. is waiting to do. They're waiting to see like what positives come from it, from other ways, what negatives there are, and then try to figure out, okay, how do we implement all the good without the bad to the people, without it breaking constitutional rights and causing issues. It's going to still cause problems, but they're trying to, I guarantee, find ways to reduce the problem.
I mean, yes, right? They're going to reduce the problem as much as they can for a lower probability of being hacked. But man, for us, it's not just that; it's the surveillance they're going to have on us at all times. We right now talk about how invasion of privacy is a big deal. You have no privacy with this chip in you.
I mean, if you really think about it, we don't have privacy now. I mean, if like as far as I know, I don't know if it's been proven or not, but there's been times where I'll have my phone on me, I'll be talking about something like a certain product or whatnot, and then I go onto my phone and I'm just looking through like an app and whatnot. All of a sudden, I start getting ads for that product.
Yeah, it happens.
So like right there already kind of tells me that I'm being listened to on and whatnot. So I feel like we just don't have privacy now. They're just trying to slowly make us, accept the fact that it might not happen. This could be a way for them to implement that chip.
Well, it's not going to be a seamless transition. It's just not going to be.
Oh no, it'll be a difficult one at that because, like I said, no matter how much good they try to implement on it, there's going to be people that just don't want to do it flat out, no matter what.
Right now, so let's say they do get it, and it's finally worked out. Bugs are done. They're not able to be hacked. It's not able to be hacked. What's the price? The price is your independence.
Yeah.
So you're now telling me if it's based on a social score or if it's based on something else like that, you lose your independence on, hey, I'm going to go deer hunting, or hey, I'm going to go camping, or hey, I just have this kind of train of thought. And that train of thought could get you in trouble.
Yeah. That's like I said, a lot of people couldn't say what they want to say and just, and with that, first thing we have is freedom of speech. We have the freedom to say stuff and whatnot. So, yeah, Like no one will be able to like speak their mind or have creativity anymore. Like if you think about it, a big group of people that would be affected by this thing, ironically, would be movie critics. You
Yeah.
know, like because their whole like any kind of critic, if you think about it in general, food critic, movie critic, a business critic, any kind of critic, which is their job to go to certain places of whatever their title is and to give a critique of what they're doing. You know, they might leave a negative review because that's just how they thought or felt. Now the thing is if that's their job, with them doing that, will then that now affect their score because it's their job, or will they now have to find a new job because they can now no longer criticize something? Because if they leave something negative and say I'm a restaurant owner, I make a meal, I think it's the best thing ever. I
Right.
get a food critic come in, they eat it, they're like, to me this was the most terrible thing on the planet. Will he lose social score because he said something bad and terrible?
See,
Or, like I said, same thing with the movie critic. He goes and watches my movie, but he's like, I didn't feel it. It wasn't there for me. I didn't like it. Leaves a bad review.
I think
Well-
critics ought to be gone. I hate people that want to go and, like you said, go to a food joint establishment and they're eating. Let's say they eat a steak. Well, I may have went a week before and I thought it was a good steak. I hate critics. They get paid for the most useless job in the world. Because guess what? I may go to a movie, Alex, and you say, Jack, don't watch. It's not worth your time. I may enjoy the living daylights out of it. There's been TV shows on Netflix, on other streaming sites I've watched. I love them, and they get canceled.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm 100% there with you. I actually have a friend that's like that strictly follows like critics when it comes to movies and stuff. And I told him, I was like, dude, you don't realize like, and I've listed off a handful of movies. I was like, you ever seen these? He's like, no, they got bad reviews. I'm like, dude, they were really good movies actually. I was like, you would be surprised how much stuff people miss out on because they want to listen to what a critic said. Like, go watch it for yourself. Like you said, it could be the best thing you've ever seen.
So I honestly think that what we're talking about, the digital advance to the ID and everything that we're going to have, I think that's that's one job people's not going to want because, like you said, what's going to be the platform based off of them? Are they going to get paid for horrible reviews? Are they going to be paid for good reviews? Or are they just going to get paid for honest reviews? I don't know. But
What's not even that. It's like also the point with the social score. Like I said, say if you say something bad on a social media or something
Platform,
like that
right.
platform, you get hit with negative points to your social score and whatnot. As a critic, are you now forced to say something neutral or positive so you don't get hit on your social score? Or is that now going to be, a job that people are just going to entirely quit because they don't want to risk saying something negative, and whatnot, and losing points on their score and whatnot? That's what I'm saying. That's one of the downfalls is I feel, and would be that is
right. And you okay. So let's bring it back a little bit too. Here's the problem I have with digital ID, and why I believe that it's not going to work in the short term, but maybe in the long term. And that is literally it. It's a technology, right? It's an upgrade for us. That's what they're going to sell us on. But if you think about it, digital ID, all it is a shift in power. Now, it could be a loud shift if our government wants to be, crazy about it, or it could be a quiet shift. And a quiet shift, basically, you got to think about it, could be invisible.
yeah.
Okay, you have a kid.
They have to
You
get
have a
vaccines.
You have a baby. They hit you with a vaccine, but they implement the chip.
Yep.
Right? And they're going to sell it to us as progress.
Mm-hmm.
Advancement forward. And unfortunately, it's going to be designed to make us believe a certain thing.
And then the other thing too is like, what's going to power it? How are they going to are they going to and because the thing is, if they somehow design it to run off of us, like because we do generate electricity naturally, like that sounds already expensive as is, to
Right.
implement something.
What if it taxes your body and takes away whatever
Yeah.
current you got going? I don't know. I'm not I don't know anatomy like that, but
But yeah, like it just because like what because then you got to think it has to give off a signal of some kind to be able to be registered somewhere for to get picked up to do things. So
Right.
I fear the cost of what this is also going
Yeah,
to
it's
bring
the hidden risk of it all.
just money wise for people.
well, not no, because it's going to be free.
Do you think they'll somehow make it to where it's free?
The government's going to want to make it free because that's going to entice people to get it.
I bet what they'll do, they'll make it free, but on the sidelines or behind it, raise taxes or just small stuff like that. But the other thing that I worry about, back to the subject of security, is the companies say that designs these things and designs the programming. How do we know someone inside doesn't decide to just hack the system themselves, or while working there, write down information to take for themselves? That's the other part I worry about. What about internal security for these chips?
Yeah, watching the people that is watching us.
Exactly.
Sort of thing. Surveillance. The government or society itself is just going to have some type of they have to have some type of surveillance. Think about it, right? The convenience of this chip. What's it going to be? It's going to be now everything's located on it. I don't have to carry around a wallet with a bank card. I don't have to carry a license around. I don't have to carry a passport around. Everything's going to be on it, and that's going to be their biggest selling point. But the problem with that is now I can be tracked, I can be monetized, and to be honest with you,
You could just straight be shut down.
yeah, they're going to analyze every aspect of me, and they're going to be like, well, this guy's not worth it. I might go hunting too much. I might go fishing too much. I might jog more than they want me to jog. I might live too healthy of a lifestyle. Oh no, we can't have population increase. We need to get population down. He's a factor.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to have complete control. It's a lot of things. So you have the benefit of it. You have the convenience of it. You have the security. You have the streamlined access. We have verification and integration. All of those are going to be hit completely at one time, I believe.
Oh, guarantee.
It's going to be. They're gonna. The benefit is they're gonna be hidden stuff. Surveillance, of course, convenience. So if we have convenience, that means they have surveillance on us, right? Oh, we're gonna have everything convenient. Let me take it. Now they can track everything you do.
Oh, yeah.
Hey man, why did you go out and buy 100 arrows, or why did you buy 15,000 rounds of ammunition for your gun? Again, it's my right. If I want to, I can.
Yeah.
So, and you got the security. How secure are we going to be with all of our information in one area? Let's not just say, Alex, you walking down the street with your daughter. Let's say you go to the zoo. You're at the zoo, and you walk by a guy that's a scanner. Just scans your hand as you walk by.
Yeah.
Takes all your stuff.
And that's what I'm saying. Yeah. It takes everything, from me. And then the other thing you got to worry about too is, say we all have a digital ID and magically there's still, there's not a one world government. There's all the different governments and stuff. What's to stop other governments from trying to hack into our systems and take all those people's IDs for themselves, give it to their people to then, send somewhere else and be like, no, these are the people.
That's how immigration will just skyrocket.
But you know what I'm saying?
Jack's coming over from England? Cool.
Well, that's what I'm saying. When they go to look in the system, instead of showing your face, it would show someone else's, and they would be like, well, no, this is him. It's what the system's saying and whatnot. And then when they go to your place, be like, yeah, he's living in our place. You'd be like, no, I live here. They check your thing. They're like, no, you're Mr. So-and-so. You don't live here. You need to leave.
Exactly.
And then now you have no choice. So that's another big factor is that mad breach of security of that happening and whatnot. And then that's just on a civilian. Think of military aspect.
Man. Oh, no.
Imagine if military people's identities and stuff were taken. Think about it. The president has nuclear launch codes. What if his chips somehow, some way got hacked and they were able to take those codes? You know what I'm saying? And that's just here. Imagine other countries being able to breach, their head person that's in charge and getting access to codes and information and stuff like that. That to me is the scariest aspect of all this, because civilians, we can be effective one way, but then when you look at the bigger picture of the government, that's a whole nother level of scary right there.
So again, what you're talking about and what we've talked about previously is the access to our life through digital ID.
Yeah.
It will be paused. I believe there's going to be, I would want to believe there's some type of structure going to be in place with this, meaning let's say your ID gets scanned, you lose out on it, right? It's going to be tied to your blood. It's going to be tied to your DNA, I believe. So, with that being said, it's going to, if you go to the cops or the police or whatever, and you say my stuff's been stolen, I can't get my place no more because somebody might have gotten my ID and changed my code.
Yeah.
Well, now, okay, Mr. Alex, let's go in and check if your blood is registered to your chip. And if it is, maybe they can take that data breach and fix it. I would hope.
Well, one other thing I could see happening for the government to also make some money off of this is they could charge people a protection program on their chip.
Oh, I'm sure.
To prevent, stuff like what you were saying, someone scanning your chip and trying to take your identity, or someone trying to hack or breach your chip from a distant area, like, getting information like, hey, someone is trying to breach your stuff and whatnot. And I guarantee that'd be one way for the government to make money off of it and stuff like that for a secure thing and whatnot. But the blood thing, the thing I'd be curious about though is are they gonna break it down more than just like blood type, or are they gonna go a little further than that? Because what if, say, somehow, some way the person that stole my identity has the same blood type as me?
That's why I would hope it would go on DNA.
Yeah, but like, would they go a little farther down and stuff like that to it, or? But then you gotta think, how much money does that cost per person?
So we'll get off topic just for a second. This has been told to us in the past. We've actually had what's going on now presented to us in the past. We've seen this.
Have we?
Minority Report.
I haven't seen that in a minute.
Does that ring a bell though?
A little. I'm trying.
Everybody's under control of a certain group. You didn't commit a crime yet. Oh, we know you're going to commit it, and guess what? You lose everything. You go to prison.
Yeah.
They have control of everything. Minority Report is so crazy how accurate it is from back then.
I remember.
Could be.
I remember about that. Yeah, because if you have that chip, and if it's somehow connected to and they can tell what you're thinking or doing and whatnot. And if you're like, he or she did this, I'm gonna go do this to them. Yeah, they could, take away, because even though it's a thought, you've not committed the action yet. They could just be like, well, we're just gonna arrest you because you thought it.
And what if? And this is a huge if, because I don't think it will happen. But you get your digital ID in your hand, or whatever part body they want. It's pretty much probably going to be in your hand where you can just scan it wherever you go, right? What if they say the upgrade is Neuralink? Hey, man, you get a Neuralink, you can get this many credits, or you can get this. They control you. Okay, let's say, man, I hate that guy, or I hate that person. I wish he'd just die. Well, that's a negative remark. You were thinking it is linked to your chip. Now you're deducted. You don't have to say it. You're thinking it.
Mm-hmm.
What if something like that happens?
And that's the other scary part about that. Yeah, it's like now, like I said, like now you've lost the freedom of speech, and then on top of that, you've lost the freedom of thought. Now you might as well just be a program robot and just.
That's what our governments want.
Yeah, that's all they want and stuff and whatnot. And that's why, like I said, on the back end of this chip and whatnot, that's the scary part about this is that breach of stuff. Is all this, and it's scary. And there are, like I said, plus sides to it, but there's just way more negatives to it right now than there would be on a positive. I'm mainly more concerned about would be just the whole breach of security and losing everything.
Yeah.
Just everything being stolen. And then it's like, because there's no paper, if we get rid of the paper documentation to argue it, how do you, again, argue that? That's the part that scares me the most, is how possible easily people could lose identities.
Here's what I'm going to do. If this comes to a thing in the United States and they tell us we have to have it, I'm going off grid. I'm gonna get solar panels. I'm gonna get batteries. I'm gonna have a little cabin built on a little piece of land. You only need a quarter of an acre to grow your own crops. I'll deer hunt. That'll give me my meat. I'll grow meat rabbits.
Yeah.
I raise meat rabbits. Meat rabbits can give you more meat than a cow can in a year. You got to wait for a cow 2 years on the average if it's done properly to become of weight to be butchered.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be, no, screw that. I don't need social credit. I don't need the chip. I'm just gonna go find a little piece of land. I'm already the age that I'm at, and I'm gonna live the rest of my life until I go the way I want to.
Yeah, I definitely see a lot of people doing that for a fact, but
I'm definitely gonna do this real quick. So I wrote some stuff down, guys. Went over some things, and I'm gonna give you the takeaway of what I thought this potentially could be, and then we're going to wrap up the segment. But my takeaway is, it's simple. We stand at a fork. We stand at a fork in the road. One path technology empowers. It does protect us. It protects our privacy. It strengthens our rights that we have, and simplifies life without compromise. Now, on the other hand, It watches, it records, and it governs. Quietly shaping behavior under the guise of scrutiny. Now, the digital ID debate, it's not a bad one to have about technology.
No.
We always are evolving. But it's about trust, power, and our human anatomy. To me, I'm a religious man, I'm Christian. I believe that anything implemented into my body that God did not give me is the sign of the beast. It's the mark of the beast. Now, a lot of people may think that way, and a lot of people may not. That's my takeaway of everything. But we're going to wrap this subject up.
Sounds good to me.
I'm Jack.
I'm Alex. You're going to tell them to like and subscribe to the video.
I was hoping you would this time. Guys, remember, hit that subscribe button if you're not already there. Turn that notification bell on and give us a like so we can reach more people. Thank you.
Don't forget to also leave your comments. This has been Babbling Buffoons. All babbling, all buffoonery.